Hello, Facebook friends. We are live with Talks with Tony. However, our fearless leader, I'm filling in for her today. So my name is Randi Skinner, and I'm the Director of Marketing and Development here at Friends of the Family. And today on Talks with Tony, we are talking about community education. So I've got a special guest, Mr. Nathan Richardson. He's one of our community education specialists with our Education, Prevention, and Awareness team. So Nathan, tell us a little bit about your role and what you do.
Sure. So community education specialists with our program tend to do a wide variety of things. We wear a lot of hats. One of the things we do is, primarily what I do is I go into the community and do presentations about domestic violence and sexual assault, mostly with in the schools, pre-K through college. So just this week I was at UNT. In the coming weeks with school starting up, we're going to be going and presenting at a lot of elementary schools. And of course we do age appropriate curriculum, right? So with high schoolers and college age students, we're going to be talking about teen dating violence and about just basic dynamics of domestic violence and sexual assault. Because they're at that level that they can actually learn those things, right? Kindergartners are less at that level, right? Sure. It's less appropriate to cover those topics with them, but we do still have important things that we're trying to lay the foundation on. Things like that if somebody is hurting you, that it's not your fault. We tell everybody that we talk to that fact. We also want to tell them that their body is special and it belongs to them. We want to communicate things about like what a safe or an unsafe touch is, what a safe and unsafe secret is. And we also want to be engaging. So with our first and second grade students, we usually do a program called Who, where we have a puppet show and a video, and it's a lot of fun. But for our kindergartners and pre-K kids,
this is a fan favorite, the kindergartners.
It's our most popular program, the thing where we get invited to do the most, and it's the Bumbles program. It started in the 90s, and so we've been doing this for a long time. We're known in the area around the schools as the Bumbles people, and so we so what I do is I dress up like a giant bumblebee and I do magic tricks. I'm Mr. Bumbles, the magic bumblebee, and we teach them all those things. There's a song and a dance as we try to engage them for 30 minutes, just long enough to talk with them, to try and sow some of those seeds.
So our education and prevention program is something that, I mean, like Nathan said, it's been around since the 90s. And what I find one of the most interesting things is how much of an impact it can have. And I know Hillary Hightower, who's our director over that program, had shared with me before that she learned when she went to a conference years ago that we know that the youngest age of a victim of intimate violence, specifically being murdered by their partner, was 16, and the oldest was 70 plus. And so it really raised a flag of that if we're starting at the dating age, that's too late. And so I think it's really amazing and neat just to know that getting in there at kindergarten with something a little fun, a little pizzazz, that we know that there's some prevention work that can happen and work in that way. So
what we're trying to do is we're essentially trying to break the cycle of violence, right? We're trying to break the idea that this is the normal way, this is the best way to have an intimate relationship with someone. So with our middle school programs, we're talking about healthy communication, healthy boundary setting. We're starting to have conversations about gender socialization. We know that the stats tell us that men are perpetrating violence much more than women are perpetrating violence. So what does that tell us about our culture, right? That men are being taught to be violent. So we're trying to have help set those expectations that men are supposed to be, instead of violent, they're supposed to be accepting of everyone, that they're supposed to engage people in an emotionally sensitive way instead of just only reacting to people in an angry way.
Sure, breaking some of those gender stereotypes and gender norms that we see.
Exactly.
So how many presentations did you do last year? I feel like you had the record, right?
Yeah, I did around, right around 1,000 presentations.
1,000 presentations.
And over like an 180-day school year span.
Just 1,000 presentations, right? So our community education team actually, I think the number, they educated over 23,000 people throughout the entire county of Denton just last year. So we're gearing up. If a school, a business, or any organization wanted to have you guys come in and do an educational program, how would they do that?
So they could email me or my boss, Hillary Hightower. And her email is Hillary, spelled Hilllyre.
A-R-Y-E, right?
Yes, A-R-Y.
Hilllarye.
Yes, at dcfof.org. Or you can email me in Richardson at dcfof.org, and we'll try and get y'all scheduled. We usually schedule around 3 to 6 months in advance, so we're pretty much booked for the month of September, but we're starting to book up for October, November, December, and we even have stuff on the books in January and February. So
it's a popular program, y'all. You got to get in while you can.
Yeah.
So you can also go to our website at dcfof.org and choose Get Educated, and it'll give you a little bit more information about our community education, prevention, and awareness program, and how you could have Nathan come out as Bumbles or one of our awesome other educators come out there to you guys. And feel free to call our main line and schedule something through them. They'll connect you. That number is 940-387-5131. So anything else that we need to let people know?
Well, I would be remiss if they came away from this only thinking that the K through 12 programs are the only thing we do. Because we have several other programs. One of the big ones that we do is called Advance, which is for victims of domestic violence who usually have a CPS involvement as well. And so it's a psychoeducational group that takes over the place of 7 weeks. It was sort of developed in-house by Stephanie Nelson and Donna Bloom. They and a bunch of other people too. They, but I don't, because I don't do that program as much. I'm not as bummed up on all of the people who are doing that. But actually, this weekend, Stephanie is in Austin training people to implement their program throughout the state at agencies like ours.
That's exciting.
We also have Nicole Owens. She does really great work. She is moving into a position similar to mine. And then we also have an Our Community Matters coordinator that helps just coordinate our outreach to the different communities in Denton.
Awesome. All right, guys, so that's a little bit about our community education, prevention, and awareness program. Nathan, thank you for joining me on Talks with Tony, or today, Talks with Randi. You guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.